In this video, I'm going to be discussing go mode and slow mode. Go mode and slow mode is the way that I like to describe how I break down my day for better productivity in the daytime and better sleep at night. So I have different habits that I align for the daytime and for the nighttime that actually help me to sleep better at night and have more productivity in the daytime. So in this video, I'm going to be discussing it. Let's get to it. Welcome to Be Well Healthy Living. My name is Tara and I'm a Master Certified Health and Wellness Coach. Today I am filming this video from my small farm and I'm here in my barn, so I do have access. The wind is blowing through sometimes and my cat here is with me, so you might see an occasional orange tail he'd come through or hear a little meow. So that's just him kind of wandering around here with me. In fact, here he is right now. So let's get into discussing go mode and slow mode. Go mode is the term I use to describe the beginning of the day because we want to be in go. We want to do things. We want to be productive. We want to get things accomplished. So what I do to make myself more productive in the day is I make sure, first of all, and it's as a cycle because we want to make sure we get good sleep the night before. So setting up the day will get us good sleep, and then getting good sleep will set up the day to be more productive in the daytime. So it's like a big circle. So making sure we have good sleep at night, the night before, is really helpful. So the first thing I do is I wake up and I go outside and I get that beautiful sunlight. I don't wear my glasses because I have the transitions on my glasses, so I go out without my glasses and let the sunlight. I spend time in the sunshine, so that way it activates my hormones and it tells me that it's time to wake up, it's time to be productive, and it's time to do things. And I do this before I drink any coffee. And usually when I go out in the morning, I'll take my dog, I go out with potty with her and I play with her. So I am a little bit active before I actually come back in and drink any coffee or do anything in the house. So that's the first thing that I do to start my day. The second thing is I have made myself virtually caffeine free. I'm not opposed to having caffeine every once in a while, and if you use it properly, it can be really great. But in the morning, I like to focus on being as caffeine free as possible. I love coffee, so I still drink a good water processed decaf, and I drink this because it's enjoyable to me. And when you have a really, really good water processed decaf, believe me, it's not like torture. It's delicious. And I know this sounds like sacrilege to some people to not have coffee or not have caffeine in your coffee, but the thing is that caffeine can block those adenosine receptors, which I'm going to be talking about in a future video, the science of why caffeine can actually block and prevent you from getting good sleep at night, and that's going to be for another video. But for right now, being as caffeine free as possible is great, because if you have that caffeine in the morning, it's going to block those adenosine receptors. It's going to give you that initial waking up. But then what are you going to do when it crashes? You're going to have that crash. And then you're going to have to need more caffeine. And then caffeine stays in your system for a very long time. So when it does come time to sleep, if you have caffeine too late in the day because you're trying to deal with a post or a midday crash, then you're going to have to take more caffeine, which is going to affect your sleep later at night. I hope I'm talking a little bit fast here, but I hope you kind of pick up what I'm trying to say. So drinking as little caffeine as possible on a regular basis is actually preferred to get you going naturally. Then your hormones can do what it needs to do to get you going naturally. Being physically active in the beginning of the day is also very helpful. For me, I like to take a brief little walk or play with my dog in the morning. Some people like to go on runs. Some people might do different types of activities, but having some kind of physical movement in the daytime. Now, I'm not saying you have to go to the gym and you have to run, you have to do all these things. I'm just saying some type of physical movement in the beginning of the day, get that blood moving, get everything moving, helps get you going. It helps get you ready. And it also helps that hormonal balance as well, and helps you get yourself more physiologically prepared for activity during the day. Now, you also want to regulate your blood sugar because you don't want to have big drops in your blood sugar throughout the day. So I recommend eating low or no carbohydrates in the first part of the day only. And the reason why is because if you have a high carbohydrate breakfast, there's that lie saying that breakfast is the most important meal of the day, and they tell you to eat cereal and oatmeal and carbs and all these things. I love those things, but in the morning, not the time to eat them. That's the worst time of day that you could possibly eat any sugar-laden things. Orange juice in the morning, terrible, because all it's going to do is going to spike your blood sugar, and you're going to have that spike, and then what happens is you're going to have that blood sugar crash, and then you're going to have something else to pick you up, and generally you're going to reach for those things that are going to spike your blood sugar again, or caffeine, or those things that are going to get you going with energy. You do not want that, because that's all going to disrupt and destroy your sleep at night, and it's also going to disrupt your mental clarity and your focus throughout the day. So keeping yourself as low blood sugar as possible throughout the day, so that there's no spikes, nothing going up and down, is the best thing that you can do. Blood sugar spikes going back and forth all the time also too can wreak havoc and create inflammation, and that's going to make you feel achy, more tired, more brain fog. So that's going to take away from those things too. So remember, keeping your blood sugar as balanced as possible during the daytime, and in your go mode, either do intermittent fasting is another great tool that a lot of people do. So intermittent fasting, or if you are going to eat, have low carb, no carb meals as well. You can actually have eggs or cottage cheese. Avocado is really good, or if you have a really good protein shake that's virtually no carbs, something like that. There's a number of different things, or intermittent fasting is a really great way, and a lot of people have had some great success, and I do like intermittent fasting, and I think it can be used in really great for really great health benefits. Another thing that you can do in the morning that will really help set up your day for success is, a lot of people really like to journal, creating that to-do list. Because if you have that to-do list, it keeps you more focused, keeps you on track of those things that you like to do. So I hope that this helps give you some helpful tips that you can do, and this makes you more productive, clears that brain fog. Now, you might not notice results immediately, but if you keep staying with this, just keep trying it, and in the first week, I guarantee you're going to see a difference. If you try giving up those breakfasts full of carbohydrate-rich foods and try skipping it altogether, you're probably going to see a big difference in how your day unfolds. You're not going to have those ups and downs throughout the day. You're going to be more focused. You're going to have more mental clarity, and to keep going and to be more productive. So just remember, during those daylight hours, we want to be productive as possible. We want to get as much done. It goes also too with the way we are created. Before we had alarm clocks and before we had modern society, how did our ancestors do it? Our ancestors went by the light of the sun. They would wake up at sunrise and slow down and go to bed when the sun set. So that's kind of what I'm trying to get at here, is to go back into that circadian rhythm where we have that natural flow with our bodies and with the nature, as well as how we function and how we operate when the sun is out and it's at its highest, when we're getting the most blue light as well, to keep us focused, energetic, and active. Now, at around 4 p.m. is when I begin my slow mode. And this may be slightly off for certain people. It could vary based on your chronotype, and what your chronotype is, your natural sleep-wake cycle. Some people are natural morning people, some people are natural night owls, or a combination of the two. So some people, it might be a little bit later in the day, sometimes it might be a little bit earlier in the day when you want to switch into slow mode. And what I call slow mode is that end part of the day when you're out of go mode, when you're more in a relaxing mode, and you are getting ready for calming yourself down, closing out the day, so that you're preparing yourself for a good night's sleep, because everything is going to depend on that good night's sleep. If you get a terrible night's sleep, it's going to set your day up for disaster the next day. So you got to get good sleep if you want to keep the cycle going. Now, things happen. Every once in a while we have delayed flights, or something happens and we can't go to bed on our normal cycle. Well, if you normally maintain good health on this, if you have a one-off, you can pretty much self-regulate, and it's not going to hurt you as much, as long as you know, and you can pop back into your normal routine. So anyway, going back to slow mode. So slow mode is generally when I introduce my carbohydrates. Now at around 4 p.m., that's when I like to introduce my carbohydrates in my diet. Now, when I say add those carbohydrates later in the day, I'm not talking about just any carbs, not those simple carbs, not those junk carbs, not sugar, not any of that stuff. I'm talking about those beautiful whole carbs, like fruits, like vegetables, or very, very high fiber grains, not empty grains like white rice and processed foods like white breads and stuff like that. I'm talking more about complex carbs like quinoa or farro, or you can do even corn, as long as it's organic, because it's a very highly processed GMO food. So I always like doing organic corn as well. Like popcorn is really one of my personal favorite snacks. Also, if you are going to eat any type of lower processed type of food, which it's not recommended, but if let's say you're going out to eat, it's a birthday party, something like that, that would be the most ideal time of day to have it, is more towards the end. And that way, if you do have a blood sugar spike for any reason, it's going to be at the end of the day and it's not going to affect your productivity. So one of the things that you can do if you are going to be eating those carbs like that in the later part of the day, eat them at the end. So eat your proteins and your fats first, and then layer in your carbohydrates as kind of that end part of the day, end part of the meal. So actually like a dessert or something like that. I personally love to eat a little bit of oatmeal for my dessert. I do steel cut oats, and it's just so yummy to me. It's a comfort food. It feels good, and it's that perfect carbohydrate that's gonna just get me to sleep like a baby. So that's one of the things I like to put it in and make kind of like an overnight oats, so it sticks in my refrigerator. And I'll mix in maybe some maple syrup or some honey or some other flavors in it, and it just tastes really yummy, and it's the perfect nighttime snack. So that's one of the things that I like to do at night for a dessert that helps me sleep really good. So slow mode isn't designed to be a heavy productive part of the day. Now I realize there are some working parents out there who, when they get home, they have to feed their kids, they have to do their dishes, and so they don't get that opportunity to go in slow mode. But remember, we can go into slow mode, we just have to adapt it to our particular lives. So being as calm as possible, focusing on the lighting, things that we could do with the lighting and having it more calm, not so bright in the house, doing things you enjoy, doing relaxing things, playing relaxing music, things like that that really get us to calm down. And this is where we try to detach from the world around us, detach from the stresses of the day, and focus on self-care, focus on things where we feel good that make us happy. And remember, if you have kids, teaching them these habits early on are going to be very, very beneficial for them, because they're going to understand how important it is for you to take care of yourself. So it's good for you, the kids, to learn these go modes, slow modes as well, because they also too have to stay focused for their day. After dinner, you can do the dishes and go on a quick walk around the block, and about 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever you feel comfortable with, going on a walk at the end of the day after you're done with dinner really helps to slow down the absorption of any sugars, and so it helps make your blood sugar more stable. It also is great to relax you and to get you ready to come back inside and to relax and get you ready for a great night's sleep. So with proper planning and getting your day and your go mode set properly, and then when you switch into slow mode at the end of the day, start calming down, using better lighting, eating foods that are setting you up for good sleep. These are all things that you can do to help you have the better sleep. And then with that good sleep, you'll wake up in the next day ready to go and having a more productive day. If I have provided valuable content, I would so much love it if you like and subscribe. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for watching. Peace, blessings, and good health, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.